All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Dr. CC Says. Y'all, I done missed y'all. It's been a couple of weeks, but y'all know we were over here leveling up, moving into new houses and all that type of stuff. So, Dr. G said yes. So, as y'all can see, the background is different from usual, right? And that is because we are in the new house and we are thanking God for all the many blessings. So, y'all, we have a special guest with us tonight. I'm so excited, and I am going to introduce her. But right before I do, y'all know how we do. If you are in the building, drop hello. I see my sister already did. Hey, sis. Drop hello in the chat. Let us know that you are here. If you are watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. Drop replay in the chat so we know that you have been with us. Okay. Y'all know we are interactive. Drop comments, drop questions. We love to talk to you. Okay. So, Dr. G, Dr. Kristen Guillory, the one and only, the international speaker, the author, the aunt, the mentor, the coach, the friend, all the things. Y'all, she is all the things. And I am so happy that she is here with me tonight. So, Dr. G, you want to say hello to the folks?
What it do, folks? What it do? No, Dr. Cece, I'm excited to be here with you. And look, you remember I was like, y- holla at me.
Y'all,
Y'all
she
listen.
did.
I didn't
She
mind.
did. And y'all, we so listen. So the folks in my cohort, right, and just all the folks that know Dr. G, right, and have had the privilege of working with her, we understand the gift that she has been given. We understand that she has a lot of work to do. She has a lot that God has tasked her with, and so y'all, we try to stay out the way, right? Like we try to get in there where we can, get the blessing, right? Like get some of the sauce, right? And we try to get out the way because we know she got a lot to do. So when Dr. G said, hey, you gonna invite me on the show? And I was like, who? Invite who? On what show? What you talking about? And so she was like, excuse me. I said, oh, okay. Look, yes, ma'am. Look, 'cause hey, y'all, I could talk to her all day. Okay. And I know we got folks on there have been people texting me and sending me messages. They were really excited about tonight. So, Dr. G, I'm going to give you some time at the end because I want you to tell them about all the ways that you are blessing the people currently. Okay. I was
Yes,
trying to give somebody the rundown earlier today. I had to pull up the website and give them the rundown. So, yes, I want you to tell the folks when we get to the end tonight. But y'all, we gonna jump in. Y'all know this is the level up edition. We are leveling up in 2023. Yeah, Sierra, level up, level up. Hey, yeah. So we are leveling up all 2023 in all ways, shapes, forms, fashions. Okay. And so for me, what that has meant is trusting God fully and leaning into knowing exactly who God is and knowing that he will not lie. And that was actually a conversation that was sparked with Dr. G back in December, and it was such a blessing. She asked us, she said, "What would you do? What would life look like if you knew for a fact that God could not lie?" And y'all, if you think about it, we do know that, right? Like believers, folks that know the Lord, called according to his purpose, right? We do know that. But do we always act like that? Do we always live that way? And so, y'all, I made a promise right then and there to live out 2023 like I knew he couldn't lie. So I am free falling in all the blessings, all the opportunities, all the situations, right, that he is presenting, and I am going to enjoy it. That's my level up.
come on, level up. And you know
Yeah.
what? Your answer, I shared it with a few folks about free falling, and that really resonated. I know with a lot of people but that resonated with a couple of your next level colleagues who are in the current cohort. Like they were like, trusting is free falling and enjoying the ride. And that's what it is. So mine is kind of similar. My theme for this year is trust, bold, and fun. I want to
Mm,
trust the Lord fully. I did a reel on this. I want to trust the Lord fully without
mm,
going kicking and screaming. Because Dr. Cece, the
yeah.
Lord will tell me something to do, and I'm like, I didn't ask for that. That doesn't make
Mhm.
sense. And I don't want to do that anymore. Like
Yeah.
literally, I don't want to do that anymore, because every time he's told me to do something and I do it, it always turns out so much better than I thought. So it's just when I don't understand, that's when I go kicking and screaming. So that's the trust. The bold is, I'm already bold in these streets, but the bold,
Yes.
I want to be even bolder in every aspect, because what I do, and you know that what I do is not for me only. Like, it's to help people heal, it's to help lift as I climb. Like, I just want to be bold in these streets, with in every capacity, in my personal life, in my professional life, in deciding what I deserve, and share that freely and boldly, and not apologize for it. And then fun, listen, if it's not fun, I don't want to do it.
Don't want
I'm
to
not
do
pretending that everything, right, is gonna be fun, but why not? Like, I want to attach fun to everything I do when possible.
I love that. I love that. And having, like watching you do this, right? Watching you do your work, watching you intentionally move throughout your journey, things have just popped up for me. So that whole like fun part, I think I told you this story, but one of my committee members for my dissertation, Dr. Bob Cronick, shout out to Dr. Cronick, cool guy, just cool older professor at University of Tennessee. So when I asked him to be on my committee, and I already knew him, but it's a little like nerve wracking. You asking somebody to do a lot of work, and he looked at me. He said, "Hey, is it going to be fun?" And I was like, sure, right? Like it's gonna be fun for me to graduate. So yeah, let's go with that. And he said, Christy, I'm asking because I'm too old to do anything that's not fun. And I said, wow, okay. And so a long time ago, I thought I had to wait to get to where Dr. Chronic was at the time to be able to say, I want to attach fun to things. But I don't have to wait. I can do that right now.
Right now, like
Right.
right now, when I was I was a professor for a while, and I remember asking my students, like, do y'all ever lean into being thankful for the work or classes? No, we want to graduate. And I can relate. But it's, if we're always looking for the next or waiting, then we're going to always keep waiting. And I remember one of my mentees was going to medical school, and she said, okay, for the next 3 years, I can't have any fun. For the next 3 years, I
Mm,
can't really do anything I want. I said, why?
mm,
Why?
mm, mm. Yeah.
No, but I know that's a concept that's not as norm, especially for a lot of people, but especially for us to think like, no, we deserve to attach fun and ease to what we do. And it's okay. It doesn't take away the work. Like, listen, I worked a lot today, but it was fun. Like, I'm thinking
Yeah.
about who I get to help and support and all the stuff, but I got to have fun with it when fun is appropriate in the work.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then that ease part, the leaning into ease. And so, that's something else, right? That we get from Dr. G, being able to lean into ease. Everything doesn't have to be hard, y'all, right? And it's interesting because we have to watch our wording. So, like, the person you just told me about, like, I cringed a little bit with that whole like I can't do anything fun for 3 years. If you put that in your mind, you're saying that out your mouth, you're putting that into the atmosphere. And that's what you're going to get back, right? What you put out is what you get back. And it doesn't have to be that way. And let's be honest, we don't know what's going to happen in 3 years. We don't know that we're going to have 3 years. So I can't put off and wait 3 years
No.
to live. Right. We gotta live right now and we gotta lean into this ease. Yeah. Tasha said be in the moment and enjoy the journey.
Mm.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I see my other sis on. Hey JJ. Robinson Counseling and Consulting. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So Dr. G, leveling up. What does leveling up mean to you?
I mean, honestly, for me, because I love every part of what I get to do, from I love being an aunt and my clients and traveling and where I live. But leveling up for me, real talking, I had a conversation with a gentleman who is on one of my teams, and leveling up is literally pursuing and going after what I know I'm supposed to, even if it scares me, even if I know I can't do this on my own, because that's where trust comes in. The
Yeah.
trust comes in to do whatever we can do and trust that God's going to finish the rest. Like, leveling up is more exposure. Leveling up is expansion. Leveling up is just even bolder in this thing. And so it's so, and on so many levels, that is my desire. So leveling up is still leaning into ease. Leveling up is knowing that I have the right to decide. That's a big thing of mine. I wrote something on this recently. I have the right to decide. I have
Mm,
the right to say. So I
mm,
said something recently. In my opinion, the most important thing we can do in our professional and personal lives is to decide. Is to decide. And then after we decide, then we can. So it's like if you're in a friendship or relationship, you can decide what you want in that thing. I
yeah,
prefer this to happen. I'm going to decide what I want for my life. Of course, using what the Lord has given me. Like I'm
yeah,
deciding to be open to what He has already placed in me. I'm deciding to pursue it. I'm deciding to be open. So that's leveling up. Like it's
yeah.
just, I don't know where it's going to end, but trusting that it's going to be so much better than I can even imagine, not just for me, but everybody attached to it in
Come
some.
on, come on. Pastor Mike Jr., and I know you love him too. He has a song that in it, he says, if you know you want to stay close, right? If you know, like I know, you're going to want to stay close because everybody attached to me is going to win. That's how that's working.
Truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I love it. I love it. I did a post yesterday about my mom. And I
Mm,
don't always do posts about her because it's emotional to see the responses and everything. But again, sparked by a conversation we had on Wednesday, right? I was like, okay, we talking about freedom. And you were talking about how it's Black History Month. And happy Black History Month to everybody that's paying attention and that's acknowledging we celebrate Black excellence all year long over here, right? That's how we do. But we understand that as a whole, as society, we recognize during February. So happy Black History Month. But you were talking about because it was Black History Month, let's think about also the shoulders that we are standing on, right? To be able to do the things that we're doing. And so when I thought about that as we were having a discussion, I said, my mama all day long, right? Like that's what that is. It's my mom. And what she put in me, a lot of stuff, but one of the main things, when you win, other people ought to be able to win too. Right? Like it shouldn't be a I'm the only one succeeding. The success should be that everybody attached, everybody around you, striving for more, leveling up, having a change of mindset, having a change in perspective. And so that's to me, that's where like the relationship part of leveling up comes in.
mm,
It's about connection and mindset.
mm. What, and I know so many beautiful teachings and lessons from your mom, but what a beautiful gift
Yeah.
that that was a lesson you got. I'm sure early on that when you win everybody, it doesn't have to be me against the world. It can literally be allow other people to win because there's enough to go around. There's a,
It,
so, and then not just people attached to us, their families, okay?
yeah. Yeah.
Like
There folks. Mm-hmm.
therefore, but that's when you operate. When we operate in what we're supposed to be doing. I talked to my clients last night and I said, y'all, you should be able. So, Dr. Cece, you do this. When
Mm,
you enter a space, virtual or in person, you shift the atmosphere. You
mm,
don't mean to do it, but that's just you showing up in your magic and your light. And we all have that, but it takes a level of trust and confidence to
yep.
know that I'm going to shift some things in here.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. And we're honoring the light and we're honoring the gift and we're honoring all that that thing is. You can't be attached to me and not change. You can't.
Listen,
You cannot.
listen, that
I
part.
know you cannot.
That part. And like you said, the confidence, because that's that mindset piece. And y'all, I know I see folks in the comments. Tanika said, hey, Dr. Cece and Dr. G, y'all slaying. Yes. So yeah, I hope you all already knew Dr. G was gonna drop all the gems, right? Like you gonna get gems left and right. So if you know her already, you know to be taking notes. You know to have your pen and paper ready.
Yes.
Look, or your recorder, right? That's a whole nother story. We'll talk about that later. But people are in here saying yes, and just they're able to feel what you're saying. And what I love is leveling up is about mindset and perspective. People don't realize they're like, oh, you saying level up, you talking about like your new house, or you talking about this or that. All that stuff's great. Yes, and God, gives and He gives in abundance. But what I'm really talking about is mindset and perspective.
Yes.
That is the level up, y'all. When we shift how we're thinking, when we grow in confidence, right? When we understand what humility really means, And it doesn't mean that you got to keep your head down and don't make eye contact and nobody can give you a compliment. That's not humility. Right? That's not what that means. When we understand the real meaning, and when we understand that through God we have power, and we have power, as Dr. G just said, to change the atmosphere. Y'all, we can shift stuff. When you understand that, that's a level up right there, all in itself. Yeah. And my cousin is in the comments talking about Mary Ann Henson. So that is my mom's oldest aunt and his grandmother. And he was saying, it's a village. Definitely. I will tell folks, all my folks were awesome, right? All of the ones here and the ones that are going on to glory, all of them were awesome. And one thing that they had in common was this idea that you have to reach back and help others. It can't just be you, it has to be a connection with other folks. And I think because that was the message for all of us growing up, we connect with people really well, right? And we're able, like you said, if I'm winning, other folks winning. If I'm in the room, other people are having to make changes and shifts in how they see themselves. And Dr. G, I ain't always been able to accept that.
I know.
That's what was happening.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that's heavy. That can be heavy.
it can be.
Yeah.
It can be. But when it's no longer heavy and we
Yeah.
understand that
Yeah.
it's a blessing and a privilege to do so. And
Yeah.
another part of the heaviness can also be that we sometimes think it is our responsibility to save and
Mm,
help everybody, and it's not.
mm-mm.
It's not. First and foremost, it's for me first. Like from let me take in what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to grow first, because sometimes we give it away too soon and it hasn't done what it needs to do for us first. There's a phrase that I heard a pastor say, and it's being a spiritual bulimic or being a Christian
Mhm,
bulimic, which
mhm.
is, I don't know about you, but I've been to church before and I hear a message and I want to give it away to somebody. Like,
Okay,
hey,
real
as a
quick.
love, you
Mhm,
didn't even let it nourish you. You
mhm.
didn't even let it take in. So, like everything we go through is not meant for other people. So, it's a rhythm in this thing
Yeah.
about shifting an atmosphere. It's using wisdom and discernment. Am I supposed to share this right now? Am I
Mm,
supposed to share it? Period. Because that can be why it's heavy. Because we think it's supposed to go to everybody else as opposed to, no, Lord, let me hear how you want me to use this. Let me hear how you want me to maneuver in this. And when you mentioned humility, you're absolutely correct. Humility means we're accepting the compliments about things and gifts that the Lord has given us.
yeah.
We are, as Trip Lee would say, we're bragging on my king. And
Yeah.
it's not me, but it is you though. It is, you're the one who's choosing to take that step. You're the one who's choosing to say yes to the Lord. We, of course, give all the credit and honor, but humility is not throwing it in somebody's face, right?
Mhm.
I think when we get so down here, that's not humility, that's self deprecation.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. And
Yeah.
we have the right to say, I'm honored to do this work and I'm grateful, but I'm not throwing it in your face. I'm
Mhm,
serving well to the best of my ability. And that's freedom.
yeah.
That's freedom in owning the compliment and accepting it, but not allowing it to become your identity. So it's a rhythm in that thing. And it's taken me a minute to accept compliments, and I'm still on a journey in that place, but it's accepting the gifts that God has already given us and saying, thank you. How can I keep using this? Show me how to use this. Show me how to continue to serve people and show me how to rest well and receive what you have for me.
Listen, rest. That's another one. Rest, because we don't always rest well. We don't always think we're supposed to rest or we deserve to rest.
You want to know what I said in a job interview? Okay, so listen, you know this. My middle name is self care. I
Yeah,
relocated to set my life up as a beach. Y'all, the beach is a 30-second walk. Okay, but
it
listen,
legit is a
like
30-second walk, y'all. I've been there. Yeah,
like literally. So the me, Dr. CC, the me like 7 years ago would never think that I'm doing this today. And I don't mean about where I'm living. I mean about that I'm resting. I
yeah,
was traveling the country doing self-care, compassion fatigue workshops, but I was not resting. Like I had a job interview over 10 years ago and they said, hey, the hours may go until 6 or 7. Is that okay? My answer was, that's okay. I like being busy. Like, this is how bad it was, Dr. Cece. I don't think I've told you this, that I thought so there was a friend of mine who, okay, get this, Dr. Cece. There was a friend of mine who went to lunch every day. She took her lunch break every day and got off work at 5 o'clock. I thought that was the craziest thing in the world. What?
What are you doing?
Ooh, I mean, that's real talk. Like, that's how
Wow.
not good it was. I thought it was crazy that
Wow.
she went to lunch every day and was off at 5, because
Mm,
that's how much I was consumed with being too busy being busy. I had myself on a pedestal, and honestly, I my identity was wrapped up into being busy. So the me like 7, 8 years ago would look at me today and be like, "Who are you?
right.
Who are you?
And what you doing?
And what you doing?" And so that's where I
Mm,
was. So I'm so grateful I'm not there anymore. I'm so grateful that the
mm,
serving is connected to discernment and wisdom. And I do rest well, because I couldn't do what I do without rest. Dr. Cece, we could not do,
mm.
y'all, everybody watching, we could not do what we do well if we don't rest well.
Yeah.
We have to. We
Yeah.
have to. If you know you have a calling and a purpose and all these beautiful things, it
Mm,
is not selfish to rest. We got to shut things down. We got to cancel meetings if we know we're overwhelmed. We got to take that vacation, y'all,
mhm.
for ourselves first, and
Yeah.
then so we can show up
For other folks, yeah.
for folks.
Yeah, yeah. And we have to say no. And
Complete sentence.
complete sentence. Understand that no is a complete sentence all by itself.
And for those who are, that's hard, we can say not now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know no could be hard, but we could say not now.
Yeah, now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I have graduated to no.
You
I
graduated?
I graduated because I wasn't always there, right? Like,
Me too.
it takes time. Wasn't always there, but yes, I have graduated to no.
Yeah,
Hmm. And sometimes no, thank you. Mm,
absolutely.
yeah. Mm. So yeah. So y'all listen. Please catch all of this. Please catch all of what is being dropped. Okay. So we are talking about rest. We are talking about discernment. And Doc, I want you to go back to discernment for me because I don't know that everyone gets what discernment is. Like for a lot of folks, you hear it in church, but you're like, that sounds like some, high level Christian stuff.
Yeah.
What is that?
Absolutely. So for me, wisdom and discernment is when I'm making decisions, and maybe I'll get the answer in prayer, but it's a feeling I have. Like if I ever have a feeling and I'm like, oh, I don't know, I should be doing this. There's a difference between I should not be doing it and there's some fear and doubt. There's a difference there. So literally everything I strive to do is attached to, Lord, is this wisdom right now? Should I be moving in this direction? Show me what I should be doing. And I just know. I've kind of always known it as a feeling that I have, just like with some things that I'm building right now. It's a lot of wisdom there. I'm being guided in prayer. The Lord will speak to me through people or through music or through things that I'm reading to confirm. But it's about being open and being open to how he's going to communicate to me. And the thing that I heard a pastor say one time, which is so true for me, is God uses strange strategies to communicate with us.
Uh,
Because if it makes sense, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna try to work around that. But if it's strange, like, how did I get this encouragement from this person I don't know, or from this thing I don't know, or for the situation I don't know, which is causing me to lean in and say, Lord, I think you're talking to me to do this. And so that's all throughout what I do. I do operate differently in the coaching space. So I could be seen as a little different in the coaching world because I use a lot of wisdom and discernment and flexibility and serving first. I know there are other coaches who do so, but I've been in spaces where, I'm a little different, and that's okay.
Listen,
All
she a
right.
lot different, y'all. And
Okay,
it's
I am.
look, let's just be honest. And it's amazing, right? It's literally a breath of fresh air. And I think, it can knock people off their center because, like you said about the friend who was getting off, going to lunch and getting off at 5 o'clock, it's like, well, wait, that's not our norm over here. What you doing? Like, why are you different? But different, y'all, can be amazing. Different doesn't equal bad. It can be amazing. And when we step back, and your friend Kevin is on here. So he said, sometimes leveling up looks like slowing down.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it takes a slowdown, right, for us to really look and to really listen to what
Yes.
it is God has for us. So, you said he'll use some strange tactics for you. For me, I feel like he uses like confirmation over and over. He knows I need to hear stuff multiple times.
Mhm.
And so he'll let it come to me from different people or different things, a sermon, a song, a situation, people, and I'm hearing the same thing, or I'm catching the same pattern over and over and over again. And usually the conversation goes, I'm like, okay, God, I got it. I
Yeah.
hear you. I see what you're saying. I got
Yeah.
you. You know. But yeah, so y'all know how God is trying to talk to you.
Mhm.
Know how he's trying to send messages, and we have to slow down enough to be able to catch that. So, that running, going all the time, busy just to be busy. Y'all, that's so whatever year. It's not 2023. That's not what we doing in 2023.
Right. And we don't, I'll just use I statements for me. So last fall, so like Q4 was
Mhm.
my slow down season. Well, slow for me, because friends were like, you didn't seem like you slowed down. It was slow for me.
For you. Hmm.
And the Lord was like, I need you to slow down. Look at all you've done, because where I'm taking you next year,
Mm.
I'm expanding. There's a lot more. And so I did. I slowed down, and I have to do that because I can go. Like I can launch things and put things together and all of that, but it's sometimes I'll go to the beach and just sit. Okay, Lord, I'm going to sit here. If you have anything to share with me, please do. And sometimes he does, and sometimes he doesn't. But I
Mm.
just have to sit sometimes. Otherwise, I'll get into my head and I'll just produce, and I need to stop. And I
Mm.
need to stop and
Mm.
go do something else. And that's so it's a rhythm. It literally is a rhythm. Like, I'm going on a cruise. I'm going to try to go on a cruise this year every 6 to 7 weeks. And that is part of my self care rhythm. So I can go and not have access to Wi Fi or internet and just kind of be and
Right.
then come back to all my other stuff. But I find what works for me. And
Right.
I'm grateful that I get to do that.
And y'all hear this intentionality, right? Because that's what that is. When you are being intentional about your rest, when you're being intentional about focusing and sitting and listening and self care, you do stuff like take a cruise every 6 to 7 weeks. Mm, yeah, that's intentional, right? And y'all, we might not be doing that, but you can do something intentionally. If it's leave your cell phone outside of the bedroom, if it's make sure that you carve out an hour in the morning to sit and journal and do your affirmations, exercise, right? Whatever it is, it's the intentional part. That's the part that's going to help you stay consistent with it.
Yep. And
That's
whatever it is,
yeah,
whatever it is, do
yeah,
it. Yeah.
do it, do
Laughing,
it.
walking. I went out and walked. I didn't mean to, Dr. Cece. I did a 5 mile walk on the sand yesterday.
I saw the post. I just shook my head. I said, "Of course she did. Of course that's what she did. 5 miles." Mm.
I didn't mean to. I got in that zone. I was listening to some Christian hip hop, and it just, a playlist kept going. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, looky here. I've never walked this far. And I'm so glad now my legs were a little sore when I finally got back here, but I'm glad I did. So walking for me just helps me to process and
Mhm.
go through the stress cycle. And yeah, don't do it, Nicole. Listen, okay.
Hey, Pastor. Nicole said, "Of course, right? Because your walk is a light jog on a slow day. So yeah, I'm not surprised.
I
5
love that people aren't surprised when I say these things. Like, yeah, y'all went you in the sand.
Mhm. Mhm.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah. So anybody that's doing a boot camp, doing a retreat, doing anything with Dr. G, if she says, "Let's go take a walk," just say no thank you.
Or say, yes, amazing.
Or
I,
say yes, amazing, and be prepared, right, for what is about to happen. Don't think it's gonna be a light stroll. Don't do it.
Dr. Kevin is still supposed to come join, and Nicole is going to come join, and Dr. Tanika
Mhm.
and everybody. I know.
You Usain Bolt
You say who said
Junior.
you saying both?
Junior. Yes. Oh,
Thank you.
yes. So my sis says she down.
Come
So
on,
yeah,
Latasha.
when y'all are together in July, then you all take a walk.
Yes, let's a walk. See, a walk.
Mm-hmm. Tanika said no, she ain't, and she is me. So yeah, listen, as you all can tell, anybody who come on met this group of women, we have a lot of fun. Okay, we have a lot of fun, and we support each other in
Yeah.
our different journeys and with our purpose and with all of the work that God has given us to do. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, I want to have a celebration that's connected to my walking,
Oh, come on.
not jogging, my walking. Okay. So when I first moved out here like 2 years ago, I accidentally walked like a mile and a half in the sand. And that was difficult. Like sand walking is not easy. So I will,
Mhm.
y'all, yes, I walk fast, but I'll never be like, come keep up with me in the sand, unless you want to. And I remember being winded. And yesterday, as I did this 5 miles, I could have done another four. And I was just
Mhm.
grateful for the consistency and what that led to. And
Yeah.
it made me think about just anything else. It's not that I go walk 5 miles every day, but if we're consistent in that thing or consistent in
Mhm.
something, before we know it, we'll have growth. We'll see change. We'll see some
Mhm.
great things. And something else I want to celebrate is when I first got out here, I would go walk. But y'all, notice I love my music.
Yeah.
I love my music. We will dance, but a song would hit, and as I'm walking, and I would kind of tone down my dancing because I'm worried about people watching me. I don't care anymore. Okay, lit. You want to know
Listen.
how many dance breaks I had yesterday? And for me,
Yeah.
I thought about that too, just about freedom,
Yeah.
freedom. And you talk about Black History, and yes, it's Black History 365. But one way that I honor Black history is by freely moving and dancing. That
Mhm.
is one of my ways to honor those for us who could not do that freely, who would
Yeah.
have been harmed if they got caught doing that. Because my grandmother loved to dance. And
Mm.
my grandmother was very different. Like she was part of the Black Panther Party and was like, I
Come
was
on.
part of it with the education and the meals. And that's
Yeah.
what it was. My grandmother, when my grandfather's a story, got locked up years ago. And my grandmother was like, y'all better let him out. I'm like, come on, Mimi. Like
Right.
my grandmother, I'm standing on her shoulders because she
Yeah.
got a master's degree in the 70s. My grandmother started a school in Dallas for like 1,000, 2,000 people who wanted their GED.
Listen.
And I think about her. I think about her who went through things I can never imagine, but she always loved to dance, always loved to move until physically she was unable to do so. So the dance for me is so much more than the music, it's freedom.
Yeah.
It's freedom because we've been told, especially all of us, especially Black women, well, we can't do what we can do. But no, son, it's the freedom for me,
Yeah. It's the
whatever that
freedom.
looks like for us. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the freedom.
And y'all, that's a question for you all. What is it for you? What does freedom look like for you? Right? Freedom for me looks like loving unconditionally.
Mm,
That's freedom for me. Because, like you said, your grandmom and all that she stood for. My folks, I told you, connection, right? Loving on folks. Someone commented that up under my mom's picture yesterday. She said, your mom was so loving, and I've never met a family as loving as your family.
mm,
That's just, it's in us.
mm,
And a lot of times fear will stop you from being free. Fear will stop you from doing things that have been placed on the inside of you if
mhm,
you let it.
mm,
So that's why we have to be mindful, right? We have to be intentional. And I love that dance is intentional for you. You are intentionally making sure that you are paying homage. You are intentionally walking out freedom when you dance. It's not just movement, it means something more. It
mhm.
means something else. And y'all, if we can pick one thing, and y'all don't have to drop it in the chat, but write it down for yourself. What does freedom look like? What lets you know that you are free? What lets you know that you are out here moving freely in this world? Is it trust? Is it love? Is it wearing your hair the way you want to wear your hair?
Is it laughing out loud, not
Yeah,
hiding that laugh, that
yeah,
beautiful laugh? Is freedom saying, I don't want to do this anymore?
yeah.
Like what is, and you're right, it's something different because I'm sure we have multiple things. So for me, freedom is dancing. Freedom is serving the way that I desire to serve or I'm led to serve. Freedom is knowing I don't fit boxes of traditional, professors or coaches and knowing that this is how I'm supposed to serve. Like that and just walking in that freedom. Wait, you notice our freedom is I will shut down a conversation if it's not uplifting and
Yeah.
edifying to my peace. I will shut it down or
Yeah.
respectfully remove myself.
From it.
That's freedom for me. I'm not changing you. I don't have to change you, but I will remove myself, okay,
Mhm.
from the
Yeah.
space. Yeah,
Respectfully. Yeah.
respectfully, lovingly, and respectfully.
Yes. So y'all, there's something. For me, freedom is options and knowing that I have options, right? Oh, hey, JJ Cub Helper, my brother is on here. He said being able to spend time following and supporting his kids. Yes, the babies
Mm,
who are taller than me. Both of them technically grown, but they still the babies. Yes.
Mhm.
But that is freedom. Freedom is being able to choose, having options. And Kevin and I was having this conversation talking about how I grew up being told and being shown that I had options.
Mm,
My mama always said it's more than one way to do anything. And
mm.
you have a group of people supporting you so you can get anything done. You have options. You don't have to just take whatever's given to you. You have options. And it's somewhere along the way, at some point, I forgot I had options. And I
All right,
wasn't.
Dr. Cece, you know I'm about to give you something.
Y'all, look, how she giving me homework on the live. Y'all, do y'all see this? When she said, she about to give me some homework, y'all.
Cause I'm leaning into my freedom.
Come on.
I'm leaning into my freedom.
Come on, Doc.
So me. Um, yeah, you're gonna need to write a book
Mm.
with
Mm-hmm.
all the beautiful things that you have gleaned from your mother.
Mm. Mm.
Yep.
Okay. I received that.
Mhm.
And
Or a
I told
journal.
where I'm working on the journal. So the
Okay.
journal is in the works.
Very good. So book something because
Mm.
there's just a lot of wisdom, right,
Yeah.
in that, and even gleaning from the beautiful things that your mom shared that a lot of people didn't. And when you said your mom said you have options, I can think of somebody I've mentored who said he was like, I wish when I was growing up that he said, my parents are amazing. I love them. I love them. I love them. But he said, I wish that when I was growing up, that my parents encouraged me to lean into my plan A instead of my plan B. His plan
Mm.
A was to become an actor and model. His plan B was to be an accountant. And he's
Mm.
amazing at both, but he was like, I wish, and he honors both. He's doing both, but
Mm.
options,
Yeah.
right? Like, college may not be for everyone. So I love that that's something you
Yeah.
got early on. That is a gift. That
Yeah.
is absolutely the gift. And I'm a proud aunt,
Yeah.
and my sister and brother-in-law do an amazing job for their boys. Like, okay, if you don't want to do this today, you can, but what do you want to try? There's never you have to do this one particular sport or activity. It's options. And there's freedom in that. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And so, I told you confirmation is how God talks to me. So you are the fourth person who has said a book.
Well, wait, but look in the comments, somebody else said book.
Oh, hey, Renee.
Fifth,
Hey, the boys. Hey, Sarah. I hear you. Come on, book. Okay.
fifth. And I see what you said, life without boundaries, limitless,
Yeah, yeah. See,
giving of self. Mm.
yeah, yeah. That's cousin Ron on. He's in Dallas actually.
Shout out Dallas.
Yeah, in Dallas. Yeah.
From living in Dallas, visiting Dallas.
Ah, living in Dallas.
Okay.
He lives.
All
Oh,
right.
Plano. He's in Plano.
Okay. That's still Dallas. What to do?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I see Kiani on here. Hey, Kiani. She said time to TikTok.
Because your TikToks are what that is. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. But yeah, Doc. So yeah, I'm hearing all of the good things, all of the gems. Tell us three things that can help the people level up in whatever way they're looking to level up. And I'm sorry, Ron said it's Allen,
It's
Texas.
Allen, Texas.
Allen.
Got you. Oh, yeah, yeah. Shout out Allen. I know Allen. Yeah, absolutely. Would you say three things?
So
What?
the three things that will help people level up, wherever they
Ooh,
might be, whatever it is they want to do.
ooh, I like it. Okay. So for me, the first thing to help you level up is to decide. Is to decide and give yourself permission to dream. I'll say those are two. And for me, it literally means, this, Dr. CC, and anybody who's ever allowed me to support you, I believe in dreaming. I
Yeah.
believe in dreaming because sometimes we either haven't dreamed or we forgot. And to sit down and write down or say out loud my dreams connected to my health and my money and who I'm helping and where I am and where I'm traveling, there is freedom in that. There's
Mhm.
freedom to be reminded of that. And I remember I gave a keynote talk in Dallas area and I had them dream for a second and I brought somebody to the stage and she said, and y'all, I mean, literally it was like 2 minutes, like 2 or 3 minutes. And I brought her to stage and I said, what was one of your dreams? And in tears, she said, my dream is to retire my dad and have him move in the neighborhood.
Oh,
That's my dream. And she was like, that's always been something in the back of my mind, but I haven't thought about that in a long time. I spoke at another event, and a woman in tears said, I've never dreamed. And this was deep. She said, because she had a successful business, like 7-figure business that was passed on to her. And she said, I'm not living the life of my dreams.
Mm,
I'm living the life of somebody else's dreams that were passed to me. And I've never been encouraged to dream. And
mm,
so for me, to level up is giving yourself permission to decide what it is you desire and to listen to what the Lord is saying and dream and write that down. Second thing to leveling up is you got to rest. You have got to rest.
yeah.
Whatever that means, whatever that means, if that means, I know some people pull up at the house, sit in the car for 10 minutes. Okay. Listen,
Yep.
listen, one of the guys on my team, he says he'll, like, if he and his wife are in the driveway, he'll be like, "Sup, babe, I'll be in about 20 minutes." Like, whatever that is, you've got to rest. You've got to have margin. You've got to have boundaries. You've got to have mental wellness, whatever that is, and pick one. Pick one. That's one. And
Mm,
the third thing to level up is you have to have community. You have to.
yeah.
You have to have an accountability partner. And listen, everybody, all your friends may not be your accountability partner in that
Mm,
space, and that's okay.
mm,
I made the mistake, and because my friends and people I know are amazing, but I made the mistake and had some friends become my accountability, and I wound up coaching them just because I want to give. I'm like, this is not working. This not working. And so the third thing is have community, whether it's a
mm,
mentor, you're in a mastermind group, you get a coach, you get something, because we're so much better together in
yeah.
that space. So yes, I would say decide and dream, be intentional with rest, and then have community. Have
Mm,
somebody to walk with you. And then bonus tips, know that you deserve it all.
yeah.
Know that you deserve it all. It's not that, oh, I don't deserve. No, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Yeah.
do. And when
Yeah.
people tell you you're amazing, accept it, appreciate it, lean into it. Thank you, Lord, for the compliment, and we keep moving.
Yeah, yeah. One thing that's helped me with that, because we grew up in church, so you grew up, you're a sinner, saved by grace, right? Which, not saying that that's not true.
Right.
And when you remember that we made it His image, so if you're not worthy, what you saying about Him, right? So that has helped me, y'all, to be able to say, when it says in the Bible, He will do exceedingly abundantly above all that you could ask or think. Yeah, why you think you don't deserve that? He said it. It's in the book.
He said, and let me add, okay, so that if that's Ephesians 3:20, I
Yeah.
believe, Dr. Cece, that is the most quoted scripture in
Mhm.
church, in particular Black church. But I believe, this is me, I believe that we don't believe it. We
Mm.
don't believe it. We say
Mhm.
it. We say one
Mhm.
translation is God can do more than we can ask or imagine. He can do
Mhm.
more.
Mhm.
If we believe that, we would
Mm.
operate differently.
Come
We
on.
don't believe it. So we say stuff, but do
Mm.
you believe that he can do exceed? If you believed it, we
Mhm.
would operate differently. Our faith walk would look different if we
Yeah.
believed it. Because for me, I want his. So I'm gonna tell you something. I started journaling years ago. Years ago, there are vision boards, and vision boards are beautiful, right?
Mhm.
Dreaming is kind of equivalent to vision boards. But
Yeah.
let me tell y'all what I put on mine. I write my dreams, I write my desires, but I always leave a section that says God's more. Always.
Mm.
God's more, because my dreams are based on what I know, or based on the opposite of what I know, or based on what I see, which is still very limited.
Limited.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, Lord, I want your more. I don't
Yeah.
want my more, because my more is
Mhm.
limited. I want your more, but I believe this. And so again, I've noticed that we'll say it, but then we don't believe it. And I've done that too, but we got to believe that. And
Yeah.
then part of just kind of releasing some of the unintentional toxic thinking of we
Mm.
don't deserve it, we're wretched, we're all, but that's not true. And I think about how that's put so much weight on our shoulders, and we walk around thinking we're not deserving, and thinking we're not worthy, and thinking I don't. No, y'all,
Mm-mm.
no,
That ain't it. That
that's
ain't
not
it.
it.
And it's really a trick of the enemy if you think about it, because it causes you to be less effective.
Come on.
Okay. So if God gave me something to do, if He gave me a task to carry out, He gave me a purpose on multiple purposes. And that's something else that's been revealed to me in recent years. We have multiple things to do. Y'all,
Multiple.
we not just like trying to get to one purpose. We got multiple things that God has given us to do. And so if you are not able to operate in that gift fully because you don't even think you're worthy of the gift, you're gonna be ineffective. And that's not of Him.
No.
That's not of God. So we have to, again, going back to intentionality, we have to be intentional about what we take in. We have to be intentional about what we say out of our mouth. And we have to mean it. Say what you mean and mean what you say. If
Yep.
anybody looks at my personal Facebook right now, you will see that in my favorite quotes. It has been there since I had a Facebook page back in whatever, 2003, 2004, whatever. That's because that has always meant something to me. Say what you mean and mean what you say. So if I'm a quote a scripture, I need to mean it. I need to truly believe in it. I need to understand what I'm saying and then believe that it's true.
Yeah.
And that's why it struck me so much when you said back in December, what would your life look like if you knew for a fact that God could not lie? And y'all, we know that. We know that he can't lie. We got songs, we got scripture, we got, pastors preach on it. God is not a man that he should lie. We know that, but we're not living it all the time. And how powerful could we be? How powerful would we be if we would live out the truth that we actually know?
We can't fathom it right now.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't fathom it
Mm-hmm.
right now if that's how we chose to operate. And for anybody, because I was at one point where I wanted to believe, but I couldn't. All of this for me, and I know Dr. Cece as well, is about being gentle with our journey,
Yeah.
gentle with where we are, seeking
Yeah.
to learn in prayer and wise counsel, and talking to friends and saying, I want to believe that, but I don't, because it's embedded in me that I
Yeah.
don't deserve anything. It's
Yeah.
embedded in me that I'm supposed to not ever do that. But to the point of, as I've told some clients of mine, I said, you probably want a confident coach. You probably want somebody who's confident in what they're doing in front of you, not cocky, but you want
Mm-hmm.
somebody confident in the gift. And again, that's not boastful. So what would that look like? Just
Mm.
walked in that gift.
Yeah.
Just walked in it, whatever
Yeah.
that means. And these are gifts that have nothing to do with our degrees. These are gifts that have
Mm.
nothing to do with certifications. These are things that we've been able to do since we were younger. Maybe just we didn't cultivate them or nourish them. And now it's that thing where somebody says, man, you helped me more than you know. Do you
Mm.
know you're so good at that? And we honor it. We pray about it. A mistake that I made, Dr. Cece, and tell me if you can relate to me, a mistake that I made, it was an unintentional mistake, unintentional, but it still was. So I
Mm.
was looking at feedback after I spoke at this university, and I was trying to find a quotable for my website. Like I'm looking at it at a very like surface level, I'm not trying to
Mhm.
get deep. And I'm reading it, and I kept reading, and I kept reading, and I kept reading, and every comment was, "You're amazing. This was life changing. You're life changing. Your goals. I mean, everything." Somebody said the reason I wanted you to be my mentor, and wrote a whole letter, like a
Mm.
2-page letter. And I stopped in my study in Texas and remember saying, Lord, I have not honored and stewarded these gifts well. I have not.
Mm.
I took them for granted because I didn't mean to dismiss them. But when people would stand in line to come meet me or tell me these things, I said, thank you. But
Mm.
I never just sat in it and said, hold up.
Mm.
People are telling me their lives are changed after working with me or meeting me or telling me that they're different or telling me that they're confident. What is that? Okay. And I had to sit in that and
Mm.
honor the gift and say, okay,
Mm.
play. So
Mm.
I have to be careful with what I am around and who I'm around, and no judgment of anything because the gift is too important and too
Yes.
precious. I don't want to dismiss it anymore. So
Yeah.
that's why when people who know me for a while, they're like, man, you have all these boundaries. Boundaries have to do with the gift. That's
Listen. Listen. Because you got to
that's what
steward it well.
you
Mm.
have to.
Mm.
You have to. It is
Yeah.
out here helping people. Like I think you might have seen it today. It is literally saving lives. I got word that something that I'm connected to saved somebody's life. Why would I
Mm.
play around? Y'all are out here saving people's lives and you don't know. With that kind of thing, we can't play.
We can't play.
Got to be
No.
courageous in it too. With this guy, you know what I mean? Like we got to be
Yeah.
courageous in that thing.
Yeah. And that's part of the not playing, right? So again, if I'm out here half-heartedly doing it, I'm
You're
not
playing.
being effective. I'm not walking it out the way God intended. And
And you
and
might
I
harm someone. You
and
might
you
unintentionally harm someone. And
it could be
like
harm.
real talk, right?
Yeah.
Might
Mm.
unintentionally harm somebody if we're not
Yeah.
intentional and
Mm.
courageous and being. and
Yeah.
stewarding it well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you asked if I could relate. Absolutely.
Mhm.
So for me, so and you've said this, like we've heard it, like steward your gift well, got to take your gift seriously. And so I set up things to make sure I did that, but it hit me like a ton of bricks in the middle of the conference.
Mm.
We're at the conference, and I did my keynote, and y'all, we can get so caught up in what we're supposed to be doing, right? And making sure that we do it well, that we don't fully appreciate the moment, right? But there were moments after or during the keynote actually where I had to stop. I had to use my therapist skills, right? I had to stop. I had to be actively listening. And anybody that was in the room can tell you it was a spirit in that room of healing, right? It was a spirit of openness. It was a spirit of support. It was a spirit of love in the room. And at some point, I had to step back and say, "Ooh, this serious right here."
Mm.
Right? Like the space that's been created, the presence that's in the room, God, right? Ushering God into the room. Y'all, that's serious. That's serious business. And my grandmama used to say, like, we'd be in church and it's after service, and my mama was always doing extra stuff at church. So we was at church all the time. And so you might be running up around the pulpit and stuff like that. And my grandma would say, "Hey, come away from over there because that you don't play in
Mm.
here. You don't play around God's area." Right.
Mhm.
And that came back to my remembrance during the conference. Like you just said, we have to be careful about who we are around, what we are around. We have to be careful about what we entertain because this is serious business. And we can have fun, right? And we gonna have fun and we're gonna have awesome times, and it's gonna be a lot of laughter and love and joy and smiles and all of that. And we have to take our assignment seriously.
Have to take it seriously. And
Yeah.
if people, I know sometimes we're worried, what will people think and things like that.
Mhm.
And first of all, it was absolutely necessary, Latasha, the space that you curated, that you allowed the
Mhm.
Lord to use you, Dr. CC, to curate a healing space. You came in open, you were available, and it was needed.
Yeah.
It was needed. You were prepared for however it was going to shift, and that happened. So I'm so glad that you did take a moment to say, "Whoo, hold up, Lord.
Yeah.
Okay." Because it doesn't take, as you know, it doesn't have to take a long time for a shift to happen.
No.
It does not.
Mm-mm.
But you were open and available. And that is amazing. And then you were open and then closed when you rested. Okay.
Yes, because
Open and
and look, y'all, that's why. So she said number three was community, right? That's why you need a community. So y'all, let me tell you again, Tasha know me, so she won't always argue with me, but she usually get her way anyway. So Tasha had said, "Hey, what we doing after the conference?" And I said, "Well, I got folks in town, like, and Tasha not folks, like she been in town plenty of times. So I'm like, I got folks in town. I was gonna cook." Right, because y'all know I love to cook. So I was gonna do a whole dinner. We're gonna have people come over to the house and all that. And so y'all, when Dr. G, asked me about my itinerary, she said, "Hey, what you doing? What time you leaving after the conference?" And I had planned to be there until whenever. Right. I was just gonna hang out with the people and then go home and then cook and then hang out some more. And Dr. G was like, you gonna go rest. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna have a cutoff time and you're gonna go home and you're gonna rest. And Tasha was like, mm-hmm. She was like, mm-hmm, yeah. But I had, and y'all, that's why we need community. We need folks that can pull our coattails. We need folks that can say, "Hey, you might not realize how tired you're gonna be." And y'all, I went to sleep. Do you hear me? I think the conference was over probably about 4 or 5. I got out of there about 6 or so. Y'all, about 7:30 or something. I was asleep. I was asleep. Tasha said, "And was now let's go." Yes. Yep. Went on back to the house, went right on to sleep. And so make sure, and y'all know I say this all the time, make sure you have folks around you that have your best interest at heart. Make sure you got folks around you that love you. And even if they don't see the vision because it's not their vision,
Right.
they rocking with you because it's you. All right. Make sure you got those types of folks around you. And then make sure that you are that person for somebody else as well.
Mm. I love that you said that about yes, because yes, when I got there, I was like, "Hey, come join me. let's let's talk." Tell me, mm-mm,
Yeah.
go home. Mm-mm. Because I needed that. I needed that when I started doing things because you're excited, it's adrenaline, and then
Yeah.
you're tired. Like we're tired afterwards. After the elite retreat, I needed 3 full days. I
Yeah.
needed 3 full days because we give, and it's amazing. We love it, but it's like we've been jogging with 100 pounds on the back. Now we have to rest. And I love what you said about even if people don't understand it. Listen, Dr. Cece, I don't understand the vision half the time. Okay, so
Right.
I can't expect other people to. When I became an entrepreneur full time and left my professor position, most of the people in my life didn't get it. Like they didn't, but they supported me. I don't understand. I don't understand either. I
Right.
don't want to do this. And so you're right. That's absolutely key. Just support me.
Yeah.
Support. This is what I know I'm supposed to be doing. I don't fully know what it is. I don't understand it. And the other thing I'll give with that is there's a difference between somebody asking, "Oh my gosh, tell me what you're doing next," or "Why did you leave your job?" I don't answer that. I don't answer that energy. I don't answer that energy. So I will say, so somebody said to me one time, it's okay. They have the right to ask it.
Mhm.
I didn't understand why you left. Like that was a little weird. And I said, thank you for sharing. But respectfully, how I choose to move is not, your understanding is not required
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
I don't have to explain that. So I'll answer, but even that's energy. Like I'm very mindful of that thing. And I'll tell you the final thing just with energy. And I shared this at a meeting. They're like, you do what? So Dr. Cece, even you gonna see some of this with some work that we're gonna be doing. And it's even if somebody is, so for example, I was doing one of my boot camps and somebody recommended a well-known speaker to come as one of the coaches that I have. And I said, okay, great. I looked at a video of the speaker, and within the first 1 or 2 minutes, I knew I did not want this person as a coach because I felt their heart and I felt some energy that was a little narcissistic and a few other things and no judgment. And I said, no, thank you. They said, what? So I'm okay with saying no if somebody doesn't understand when it's connected to purpose, connected to gift, connected to somebody healing. So I'm very good at saying no in that space. You'll be
Yeah.
all right. You'll be all right. If
Yeah.
they're not all right, that's okay too.
That's all right too. Yeah. And I love that your understanding is not required. Mm.
I wish I knew that. I wish I knew that when I left the job. I really do. I wish I knew that because I wanted people to understand. Because
Mm.
I wasn't fully like, I was like, I don't want to be an entrepreneur. This was never a goal of mine. Lord, I took this step of faith. I didn't want this. And I wish that I leaned into their understanding is not required. I wanted everybody to understand. I did. I wanted everybody to understand. But then I learned everybody's understanding. Your understanding would be amazing, but
Yeah.
it's not required. Even my mom and dad didn't understand, and
Mm.
that's okay. And eventually I had to say, I'm so glad y'all are supporting me, but your understanding is not required. And I had to get to that point so I could keep moving. And I believe in leaning into ease, but it wasn't always easy because I wanted everybody to understand and get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But
And
like
it's
you said, not required. And God might not have that. Like sometimes it really is just you and God.
that's it.
That's it. That's it. And you can have a lot of people in your life. You can have, folks that love you, and they still might not be able to be at every point on this journey with you.
Right.
And y'all, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. I see all the family on. Okay. My sister Co on here. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
Jay says
you.
a whole sentence. No, yes, it is, Jay. Yes, it is. A whole sentence. Yeah. So, y'all, Dr. G has given us all the gems, and I didn't had a good time, but I am about respecting people's time. And Doc, I don't even know if we talked about how long this usually goes, but this
I was ready. I was open.
you listen, open. I love it. I love this our yes season, y'all. We in our yes season. Come on, yes season. Yeah.
Why we
Yeah.
shake the head? I know somebody just shook their head with us. I know you did. Who shook?
You're right. You're right. Look, who shook their head? Y'all drop it in the chat. Yeah. Coach said getting to okay is usually the hardest part, but it's available. Yes, sis. Come on. It is available.
Oh,
Yeah.
who is it? Post that. That's
Uh-huh.
postable. Make
Uh,
that something.
Coach,
Yes.
you
Hold
know
on. Let me
that's
do a little bit of
coaching.
coaching real quick. Tell me who this is. Tell me who just said that.
Oh, Coco Nacosta.
Okay,
Nacosta Moore.
cool. Getting to okay is usually the hardest part, but it's available. You do it.
Yeah.
Post something. That's tweet. We'll tweet you. That's
Yeah.
powerful. It is getting to the point of okay, right? Like I'm not. But once you are,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that you said it's available.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't even realize that ease is available. Being okay
Yeah.
is available. Being
Yeah.
paid a premium for what you do is available.
Come on,
Sometimes we don't
preach,
even
Doc.
know that it's available.
Yeah.
And I've only been in not great relationships, but if you
Mm,
desire love, it is available.
come
Like
on.
that is, I love that because it is though.
Mm,
It
mm.
is though.
Doc, options are available.
Come on, mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I just felt that. I felt that they're available. And like you said, even if it hasn't been your story, that doesn't mean that it can't be your story. Look, that's the hope part, y'all. That's the part that's gonna help you. Like she said, even if you hadn't been in the best relationships, I know folks that'll tell me, "Oh, I ain't had friends like you got friends." Okay, but guess what? They're available.
But you have to decide that you want
Mhm,
friends like how Dr. Cece has friends. Decide, write that in your dreams and pray about that.
mhm,
Pray about that. Dr. Cece, you and I are the same. I'm a very intentional friend. You can ask some of my friends. I have new friends, and
mhm,
they were like, you are my first intentional friend. I
mm,
have never. And I am. So I've just sent some friends and asked them what their love languages are. Because
mhm,
we guess and all that kind of stuff, but we can pray for that. You can decide, you can have that. And so I think what this conversation is it's amazing. What I'm feeling for somebody who's watching now or even on the replay is you can decide right now that what was, that is not what you want, does not have to be what is. It doesn't
mm,
have to be. And so you can say, you know what? I desire something different, whatever that is, and take a step. Now, here's the thing, you got to move. You got to do something. And so I hosted one of my a client event out here about 2 months ago. And I said, y'all, okay, Dr. Cece, I'm gonna ask you this question. I said, what do y'all think in terms of like, coaching and speaking and doing things? I said, what do y'all think is the most important thing to do after decide? Like, I think decide is the first thing. But
mm,
what, like in what we do, what do you think is the most important thing to do? What do you think?
mm. So after I decide,
Hold
after
up, somebody answered it.
oh,
Somebody answered it. Bam, extra
that's my
credit.
other sister JJ. Uh-huh. And we often think alike because I was gonna say after I decide I gotta do something, I gotta
JJ, we
move.
gonna give J. Does JJ want to cut? JJ want coaching session? Come on, I got you.
Oh,
What?
Jay,
Jay?
you heard that right? Listen, this our yes season. Come on.
I'll
Come
send the link
on,
to you,
you
Dr.
know.
Cece, to pass it on, just because that's the answer. And
Yeah.
literally, is the most important thing is to move, is to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Is to do something. One of my clients right now said that she was struggling with getting her video. You remember all the videos in Next Level?
Yeah.
She was like, I can't,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do something.
Gotta do
Do
something.
something. I don't
Yeah.
want to work out today. Do 10 jumping jacks.
You gotta do
Do
something.
that's literally
Mhm.
that's what it is. I decide and then do, and you never know. You never know what is available. And things don't have to be what they were. I mean that, y'all.
Mhm.
I'm in some ways a really different person from who I was 10 years ago. I'm pretty different. Like at the core of me, I'm still saying, but I'm pretty different. We have the
Doc,
right to decide and move.
Doc, I'm pretty different than I was last year.
Come on.
Mm. Look, last year, a little bit before this time, when did next level start?
Well, the spring, so I think February. Yes.
Uh-huh. So yeah, yeah,
Wait, now
I'm
did you say that, Dr. Cece? Hold up. I'm different than who I was in December. I told you back behind the scenes story about something I did. I would have never thought I would have done.
uh-huh.
Ne-
Uh-huh.
but that caused me to be bold. It was something the Lord
Yeah.
had me do that I would have never done. I would have been like, Dr. C, I'm gonna give you $10,000 because I'm never gonna do this. The
Hmm.
Lord said, do it, and I did, and it was great. But it turned into so much boldness. So you better say that. I'm different
Yeah.
than who I would. We may be different than who we were last month,
Last month, just last
last
month.
week.
Coco said last week. And I love how Tasha answered for JJ and said she does want a coaching
That's
session.
amazing.
Yeah. Look, when you got friends that love you. Yeah, Tasha said, yep, that's what she wanted. Yes. Yeah, JJ said this morning. Yeah, and I know what that was about. So yeah, Jay, I'm with you. Just this morning. Yeah. Tasha said our past doesn't dictate our future. We have the freedom to decide. That's a word, y'all. That is an entire word. Look, and what it's been in the past, it doesn't have to be in the present
It
or
doesn't
in the
have to
future.
be. It
Mm,
doesn't have to be because sometimes, and somebody said this, and I love it. She said, we shouldn't be the mirror reflection of what is in front of us. We can decide what we want. And so if you think about it in jobs, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to decide in the job, but you can still decide. When you're
Mm-hmm.
negotiating, I'm gonna take this job only if they pay this. And a relate, I know I'm deciding that I want, we can decide. Y'all,
Yeah.
there's power in that. It's empowering. And I feel like the Lord is like, I've been giving you the power to decide.
Listen,
You
it's
just
been there.
it's
You
been
ain't been using
chilling.
it. You ain't been using it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can't wait and I will wait. But when I do see Jesus in heaven, I already know the conversation is gonna be hilarious. Because I already know he's gonna be like, you know, you could have done that stuff a long time ago. Right. But you got where you got to, and
Right.
thank God you got there. But you could have done that stuff a long time ago. And y'all, that was the purpose of Free Before 40, the
Mhm.
conference. Let's make sure that we are as free as possible as soon as possible so we can walk out this purpose. We don't have to wait until we 40. We don't have to wait to be 50 and fine. We don't have to wait to acquire all of this wisdom that folks say you have to have.
What
Yeah,
why you do the quotation
yeah,
hands?
because people
Why
be
you
like,
do
"Look, wisdom,
why you do
you
the
folks say you don't get the wisdom until you get older.
mm,
Mm-mm, mm-mm. We can be free now. We
now,
can decide now.
now,
Yeah, we got options right now.
now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a word. I feel that. I'm gonna have to tell Pastor about that one. He gonna have to preach that.
Ha ha.
Okay. This is where we are. Ron said amen. Yes, because we done went to church. Yeah, we done went on to church, y'all. Yes. So, Doc, tell the people all of the many ways that you blessing them, how they can find you, all the good stuff.
All the good stuff.
While JJ praises over
Come
here.
on, because
Her
it is.
Lord.
It's
Yeah,
a message. It's a whole.
yeah.
I mean, imagine if we. I won't say that what we're saying hadn't been around, right? We're not the first to
Mhm,
say these things by any
mhm,
means, but I just think if I was open to stuff like this when I was younger, but
mm.
but here's the thing: deep down, I still knew I wasn't going to be doing what the kind of quote unquote norm was. I knew
Yeah,
that. Like after I
yeah.
got my PhD, I knew I didn't want to be a professor full time. Shout out because I loved it. Shout out to all the academicians and all the professors, but I knew that wasn't my journey. But I
Yeah.
was like, oh, but it's gonna sound weird to people. Listen, I've been weird all my life. It's okay. I wear it well. We wear it well.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do I have going on? Thank you for allowing me to share. What do I have? It's so many things. I'll mention two. I'll just do two. I won't
Okay.
share
Yeah. If
everything.
you
So
don't
next,
mention the ones I'm thinking, then we're gonna have to throw a few more in there. But go ahead.
what'd you say?
I said if you don't mention the ones I'm thinking about, we're gonna have to throw them in there too.
Okay, throw it and I'll catch it. Throw it and
Yeah.
I'll catch it. All right, all right. So the first is next Wednesday, everybody.
Yeah.
So one of the things I do is I am a speaker coach and business coach and launch coach. And freedom. My goal, my
Yeah.
desire is to help people walk in the fullness and freedom of who you are in life and on stage, getting
Yeah.
paid a premium for what you're doing. And so I help you craft your messages, get your coinage, and I'm hosting a free masterclass. Free. Somebody say free. We talking about freedom.
Free.
Free. And then anybody who's ever been to one of my master classes, legitimately, it is a whole master class. Like I am teaching you. It's 2 hours. It's next Wednesday, and we'll put the link somewhere. So actually,
Yep.
oh, here's where I can find it. My name,
Oh,
KristenGuillory.com. KristenGuillory.com. And if somebody wants to drop it in the chat, so
I'm
it's
dropping it.
KristenGuillory.com/speaker-masterclass. Y'all, it's free, it's fun, network. Even if you don't want to be a speaker, you can come network, you can learn some framing. So that's next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central. The other thing that I am doing is an initiative for men to provide a space for men to feel safe, seen, heard, and affirmed called Candid Conversations. And we brought it back in October of last year. We just hosted another one in Dallas and we're going on tour. This is literally something, y'all, where I've been open. The Lord told me to bring this back. I didn't know what it was going to become. And we're doing a tour. So we're doing Atlanta, Houston, Dallas again, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and the DC area. Dr. Cece, we coming.
Come
We coming.
on. Coming to DC.
So that's
Yeah.
the conversations, and we're doing that. We're going to be in Houston April 8th. So if anybody wants to learn more, you'll see it on my website. But yeah, it is literally the men are sharing that is changing their lives.
Yeah.
And I'm not pretending that it's just me. There I have a team of an amazing group of 12 men and 4 women who are part of the Candid Conversations movement. And we're honored to do the work. And we're taking the men on a cruise in December called
Yeah.
Candid Conversations at Sea. Just good.
Yeah.
Like, why
I'm gonna
not?
have to send Kevin with you.
Come on, Kevin. Come
Hmm.
on, Dr. Kevin.
Yeah, yeah. So y'all look, check out the website. All of the things are amazing. This free masterclass, y'all, it will change your life. Okay. So, Doc, I don't even know if you know that's how I got connected with you, right? So, our mutual friend was like, hey, Dr. G doing this master class. You ought to go and check it out. So, then I did the master class. Then I did the 5 day challenge. Then I did the virtual boot camp. And then, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
it's
I didn't know that.
been
And
rocking
now
it
we're
since.
here in family
Yes, yes. Now we together forever.
forever, forever,
Mhm.
ever.
Forever,
And
ever.
ever. So can I give a gift, Dr. CC? I want to give a gift. I
Yes.
want to give
Come
a gift.
on.
So, who what you said? Coco is going to get the session, so we're going to send
Oh,
her.
JJ is gonna get the session.
JJ's going to get the session.
Mhm.
Why I said who? Coco's on here. Is that
Yeah,
right?
come on here. Mhm.
Great. Since I said the name Coco too. So great. There's a reason I said that name. And I want to
Yeah.
offer another gift. And so if anybody would like a complimentary coaching session, and literally when we get together, we will work, record it. And that was just put on my heart. So that's another thing with my wisdom and discernment. Whenever I am led to give, and Dr. Cece, we're the same also in this, and many of you are. My number one secret sauce to my success is serving and giving well. Like
Yeah.
literally, when people say, Dr. G, what's your, you relocated to Florida and you have a, all this stuff. What's your secret sauce? It's serving well and giving freely.
Mhm.
Literally. Anytime I am led to give, I have to do it. You give so much in your master classes. Do you ever worry about that? I don't. I
Mhm.
don't. So if anybody's interested, just slide in my DMs or
Yeah. Yeah, you all can slide in my DMs and I
slide
will
in
get.
Dr. Cece's DMs.
Yeah, I,
Yes. And it'll
I
be a
will
20
get it
minute
over to her.
and bring questions because literally we will work. Those who've worked with me, if you bring a question, I will give you all the sauce and you'll be amazed at what you'll get in 20 minutes. And just allow, I would love for this to be a gift that I give to a
Yeah.
few of you.
Doc Shalonda on. Hey,
Oh,
sis.
come on, world traveler.
Yeah.
Come on, world
Yes.
traveler model.
Look, over there
Say
living
goodbye.
the best life. I love it. She said, heart of a servant. Yes. So, y'all, listen, I can attest to this work. Okay. Now 20 minutes, you all gonna need pen, paper. She gonna record it, so you're gonna ask her for the recording. But I promise you, you you'll get your whole year planned out, okay? In 20 minutes. You will get whatever it is God has for you in those 20 minutes. And you might not think so. I promise you. Look, everybody on here that know about Dr. G and her 20-minute sessions, just drop yes in the chat. You will do all the work in those 20 minutes. I promise you, you'll be like, I didn't even know we could get all this done.
That's amazing. And who's this? Brittany? Brittany says she would like that if that's what you're talking about. Come
Um,
on. And
Shalonda,
it is in
Shalonda
20.
said all in 20 minutes.
I
It's
had
going
somebody who did a call with me at 20 minute and we got on. I said, hey, what, I like celebrating. What can we celebrate? And then I said, okay, what's your question for me? She said, uh, what? I said, what's your question for me? She said, normally when I get on calls with people, they talk about themselves a lot. I said, no, you scheduled it. So we got to minute 11 and she was done. I said,
Mhm.
you have 9 more minutes. Oh my gosh, I'm already done. We got 9 minutes. What you want?
Mhm.
And we wound up putting a whole strategy together for her to launch her nonprofit plan to train like nonprofit leaders. And we did that in 9 minutes. So it just is, that's a gift, right? We all have gifts. That's a gift that
Yeah.
when you give it to me, I give it back to you. Make sure you are recording me. Make sure you are recording because isn't that
Listen.
how we did like one of the parts of your talks? I was like,
Yeah.
what's the song? Do this and do.
Yeah. Look, y'all, all she needs is a little bit. She will have you wanting to come to your own stuff. Okay. Listen, my signature talk gave her just a little bit. I was like, when is she gonna do this one? When is that workshop? Oh, it's my workshop. Okay. Oh, so I'm gonna have to do what okay, got it. Cause yeah, she'll have you want to buy a ticket to your own stuff. Okay. So just know, be
Hilarious.
prepared. I'm just, hey, I'm being honest. So Coco, JJ, y'all be prepared to do some work. And JJ, I don't know if JJ's been in one of your master classes. Coco has actually interacted with you during one of my virtual workshops.
Oh,
So
yay.
yeah, so you all have been in the same space before. So yeah, yeah, Sherlonda, it didn't show up. I'm sure you probably did a gift.
Probably did a gift.
Yeah, it didn't show up, but I'll see it when we get off of here. Yeah, yeah. JJ says she hasn't. So sis, get ready because you're gonna be blessed. I can already hear the conversation when she get finished talking to you. I already know. I already know.
Your cohort member, my aunt, does not talk to me without recording our
But
conversation.
she said, and she was serious.
Y'all, like my aunt, like literally, my aunt does not talk to me
Mhm.
without recording me and told them.
Yeah, she was real serious. She said it was a big laugh gift. Yeah. And JJ said she's signing up for the one on Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah. Look, what I told y'all, everybody attached. Yeah, if you close to somebody that's making moves, y'all, somebody that God is taking to the next level, stay close.
Mm.
Stay close. Everybody attached gonna win. That's what we doing in 2023. That's how we moving in 2023. Everybody attached gonna win.
Dr.
Yeah.
Cece, what's one of your biggest goals or dreams for 2023?
Biggest goal or dream? Let's see. So there's so many. But one is to see God in a new way.
Mm.
And what let me try to make it a little bit more specific. I know God will bless. God has blessed me throughout, right? Even in tough times, I've seen God's handprint and his footprint, right? I know he's there. I know his presence is there. I want to take limits off of what I see him do. I want him to leave me speechless over and over and over again.
Is that
That's
an
what
affirmation? Do you say
yeah,
that every day?
that
Like
is
you said, I want you to leave me speechless over and over and over again.
that is now an affirmation.
Ma'am, don't do
That is now an affirmation. But yeah, I look, JJ said no limits. Yeah, that's what it is. Like Doc, I told you this. I want to enjoy the ride. Because
Yes.
it's one thing, like you said, to go kicking and screaming. It's one thing to do it and be trembling and shy and, just like holding your heart, clutching your pearls the whole way there. I don't want that. I want to be free,
Yeah.
arms out to my side, just wind blowing in my hair, just excited, just happy about it, enjoying the ride.
And you know why it's going to happen, Dr. Cece? You know why? Why?
Because I'm open to it
And
and he good. And
and
I'm like, what's the other part?
and ooh, the lash coming out. We will be all right. And
And we doing the work.
yes, and you say it over and over.
Yeah.
You've been
Yeah.
saying this over and over,
Yeah.
which means it's being embedded into your subconscious, which means it's just going to become a part. You're going to wake up and say, Lord, you're leaving me speechless every day.
Every day.
It's becoming a part of you. And that's
Yeah.
amazing. You want to
Yeah.
be wowed by him every day. And you are, and you will be.
Yeah.
That's another message. Yes.
Mm. Mm. Ooh, y'all, we done had a good time in
Did.
here tonight. Yes, yes. Coco said affirming. Yes. Yeah, no limits. Speechless. Yes. That's what we
When you
are.
said no limit, I started singing No
No
Limit
limit soldier.
Soldier. Don't
I
do it.
thought I told you.
And then the usher is no limit. Okay. And then the tank has a no limit. Don't do me. Y'all know I
Look,
know my music. Okay.
we know. We know. So y'all, if you didn't know, she loves her music and she actually connects like what you're talking about to music quite often.
Yes.
Quite often.
3 songs came to mind when you said that. Okay.
So
You're
yeah,
awesome, Dr. CC. You are. You
look,
are. And I'm so glad that you're receiving the words and compliments that you so deserve times
thank you.
800 because what you do is at the purest level of just wanting to help.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
And you out here, Black woman magic all year,
yeah,
supporting in the way you support, which is why everything that you desire and your dream is going to happen.
yeah, yeah. I receive all of that.
Yeah.
All of that. Yes. Doc, thank you so much. I have thoroughly enjoyed this. I can't believe we've been going for almost an hour and 20
Hold
minutes.
on, let me check my grocery deliver. Hold up.
Right. Look, because you got some stuff coming. Yes. Yes, sis. Magic. Magic. And so, for anybody that does not know what the acronym MAGIC stands for me, magic is your mannerisms, your attitude, your genuineness, your identity, and your core values. All of the things that make you exactly who you are. And y'all, we should be leaning into those things, not shying away from them, not pulling back from them, not trying to have somebody else's magic. We need to lean into our own magic at all times because that's how we bless the folks.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the real blessing, being exactly who you are. Yeah. Yeah. So, yes. And Tasha has done the benediction. Mm-hmm. In Jesus' name. Yeah, it is done. Amen. Doc, if you ain't know, all my friends are Baptists or Baptist adjacent. So they either, yeah, they either Baptist or they been around Baptist folks enough that they would be Baptist. Hmm.
Hilarious.
Oh, Mayor Lily on leaning. Yes, Mayor leaning into magic. She was at the conference. Yeah, leaning in. Yeah. All right. So y'all, we are gonna let Doc go. I'm gonna let y'all go. I hope you all have an awesome rest of your Friday and an awesome weekend. We will be back next week after National Love Day. And so y'all, we will be talking about leveling up, and we will probably be talking about leveling up in relationships
Mm.
specifically. All right, so y'all just stay tuned, and I will let you know if the date changed because we trying to work with everybody's schedule, so it might be a different day and time, but I promise you it's gonna happen. All right, so y'all have an awesome night. Be blessed and stay safe.